Greg Baker.
Here.
Melissa Box.
Here.
Jenna Hunter. Matt McGregor.
Yes, ma'am.
Marla Mitchell. Vinay Patel. Daniel Seitz.
Here.
Devin Sonnenfeld. Matthew Turner.
Here.
Sue Braun.
Here.
And Matt Grocock.
Here.
Just barely have a quorum.
Thank you all for being here. Daniel, if you go ahead and do our invitation.
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for this time before us. We pray that you will help us to make wise decisions, to do our best to represent the Branson area well. Just pray that continue to bring people to our area and let us do a good job of marketing. Just thank you for being able to live in a beautiful place. It's your name we pray.
Amen. Thank you. Chairman's comments, as you know, we did not meet last month, so we're gonna have 2 months of financials and everything to go through. I want to thank Matt Rocock. He had offered to go ahead and chair the meeting last month, and then they canceled it, so he got to volunteer, and then he got to be unvolunteered, so thank you very
That's
much.
how scared they were.
Yeah, I bet they were. I bet they were. Okay, if we can go ahead and review the agenda and approve it, please, I'd take a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, now we're to the point to approve the minutes of June the 23rd.
Motion approved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from June the 23rd of 2026. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay, we're to the financial statement review.
Well,
Essential.
it's been an exciting month. I did not bring or put any financials in your packets for a reason. We've got questions with Department of Revenue. They have deposited money into our account that Derek Smith and I agree is probably not money that is ours. It's from one of the non-taxed exemptions, a company that exclusively does that. So we are waiting for an answer from DOR to sort that out. We both expect they will pull it back next month. So I did not want to report on something that wasn't true because it was a pretty significant amount of money. Taking that money out for sales tax revenues, we're roughly flat. Kirk and I agreed we're not going to publish the sales tax report until we know, but we're not behind and expenses are in line with where they should be. So that's where I have to leave it until DOR comes back to us. And it may be this week or it may be next week. It's hard to say. They were intent that this was our money, and I think if it is, that's wonderful, but I don't think it's true. So we're investigating that further. One of the things that Aaron and I are working on is monthly reconciliations for the Explore Branson books and the district books. And I included that in your handout packet today, just a sample of what we do that has May, June, and July reconciliations. And the sheet that I work off of to make sure that things are kosher, just from an informational standpoint, so you know what it is when you look at it and why I'm doing it. Other than that, I don't have anything else unless you have questions.
Do we still have Branson reports, or are those off as well? Their sales tax reports, are we thinking those are off as well?
What I saw online, and I didn't print them, they were very bizarre too.
Okay.
The general sales tax was off by 11%,
Uh-huh.
but their half-cent sales taxes were, 16%, but their generals, their transportation, public safety were off 9%, which doesn't match up.
Yeah.
So they also have questions, and we're all firing away at DOR trying to get them to help us.
So they're thinking they're putting money in the wrong buckets?
It was an amended business tax return, and that's all they could tell me.
Okay.
So whether it was wrong the first time, wrong the second time, I don't know. It's it's a
Why
mess.
is it that we get dragged in whenever we make a mistake, but when they make a mistake, then to say, oh.
We just acknowledge the great bureaucracy and red tape and write it off. We don't waste a lot of energy. At least I don't, because there's nothing I can control about it.
Angela, you said that if you back that out, we're right on budget.
Mhm.
Sales or TCED tax wise,
Mhm.
which I think that's, to me, that sounds positive. It seems like everybody's talking we're down.
It is when you hear all the people in the community saying how down they are. Sales tax revenues seem to be holding,
Okay, good.
so we'll see what happens once we get an answer.
Okay, any questions or comments on the financial review? Make a motion to go ahead and approve the report.
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financial review. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay. Aaron, it's your turn with Explore Branson.
Actually, I'm gonna turn it over to Kate to give a report today.
Okay,
Excuse me.
Alright, for the month of July, we are just under $9,000 in revenue, and then year to date, we are just over 100,000. For expenses in July, creative services total include the Granicus annual payment, employee travel and meals covered 7 different events, and the Opportunity Fund expenses included the final payment for the movie premiere in November this year. Nothing too big going on there.
okay, and how are we doing year to date and month to date?
On expenses and revenues.
Both.
We are ahead of budget for our website revenue. We're a little under for publications and event program. Expenses, we are tracking that. We are having a few meetings to go over our current year-to-date expenses and any adjustments we may need to make to make sure that we stay on track and we're not over budget on anything. And that we don't have a large amount of additional funds again.
Okay, any questions or comments on the financial report? Okay, no questions or comments, I take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the Explore Branson Tourism financial report. All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, same sign. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the draft 2027 marketing budget discussion. And you all received this in advance, but Angela did approve it, or did include it in our packet today. And, you know, we're the Financial Oversight Committee, so we're the ones that probably should be scrutinizing this probably more than anybody. I know that it was presented to the Marketing Oversight Committee. There were a couple questions in there. And so, you guys with your expert eyes, let's go ahead and submit any questions we have.
You want to tell us what were some of the questions that the marketing oversight had, so maybe we don't duplicate efforts.
It was. Angela, do you remember that? I know it was on the.
One question was about
It doubled, it had doubled. I
the dues and
remember.
sponsorships line. They had some questions on. And we talked about, we use words that I don't know anything about, the media mix, to some degree, digital versus traditional. And the research is quite a bit bigger, but that's a pretty valuable study that Heather would like to do next year, is that difference. And focusing on public relations, being very intentional about the influencers they bring and the journalists getting the articles, and trying to combat the AI disruption of internet searches, trying to get everything pointed back to us.
So they asked about all the categories that either doubled or substantially increased.
They covered every category, but the questions we could not answer right now, Student Youth Travel Association and Connect are going on. So the sales team is out of town, so we can't get those answers this week. We're expecting answers back the first of the month, probably, from Ashley.
I think Ashley's back on the 31st.
Okay, so
So
the first week maybe.
they're going from one
Mhm.
to another straight
Yeah,
through.
they're busy. So. But that was more about activities as opposed to numbers for what they were wanting.
I know in the collateral and marketing materials, there's two entries in here, the sales team incentives for sponsorship sales at 15,000. The marketing team sales incentives for vacation guiding website at 58,000. Those are, I think the sales team one is brand new. And I kind of like to see what the program is that goes with this, how that money is gonna be spent.
Yeah, I think that was one of the questions for Ashley regarding the sales team. Because I also think that is new.
Yeah.
Or it's labeled differently than it's been in the past, I'm not sure.
When I was looking at, I just, general question, okay, the enhancement tax, the increase, okay, so. Explain that again.
Well, when we determined that estimate in June, I'm not sure you were at the June meeting. Maybe you were. I take what you all believe will be the increase in sales tax, which this year you believed at 2% was the number to increase. Take out all of the known contracts, state collection fee, the tips, and what's left is what's available for marketing. And that's the number that came out of that mix. Part of it is higher because one of the sales tax or one of the tips is sunsetting this year, mid-year or 27. And then removing the chief's contract pulled back some funds. So
Are those two things pretty much the biggest part of that? Because it's a significantly
it is
bigger number.
the
Which is great.
the
but-
tip expiration probably is the bigger number.
So the chief's contract, that was an expense. How that adds to the revenue.
We're not adding to the revenue. We're taking out all of our known contracts that we have to pay of what we say the revenue will be, subtracting our commitments.
Oh, so this is kind of back in.
It's
This
back.
isn't the
chamber.
full, it would be this isn't full representation of every dollar.
No, it's
just
an estimate.
Just the work.
And the other thing we do at the end is add back in the projected revenues that the Explore Branson team sees for 27. So that,
On some of these, like on the sponsorships where it says contracted for 2026 to 2028, the Big Bass Tour, for example, 15,000. That's a per year cost, right? That is not 15,000 total sponsorship for those 3 years.
that is only
So we'll see
2027.
that again next year and the year after,
Mhm.
correct?
Yes.
And then so, I think I know the answer to this, but like on Babe Ruth, we've got two different ones there. It's over $80,000 to the Babe Ruth program. But talk to me or let us know what we're getting in exchange for that, the amount of people that are coming, what they do, what we know about youth sports, why that 80,000 is a good investment, I guess.
I'm not the one to speak to that. It's actually Pam
Sports.
oversees sports and Christina is out right now.
So Christina is out with a medical issue and she can explain it much better than I can, but Babe Ruth, Cal Ripken is a huge sporting event that comes to Branson. Next year will be their 10-year anniversary. They bring teams in from all over the world that come here. They are at Ballparks of America and families come. It's grown every year And this is something that Christina feels very passionate about, making sure that we have the dollars that we have to keep them coming back again. Next year will be the 10th year that they'll be coming to Branson. I can have her put together her, request on that and some more information around it. And I can have her send that to Angela if Angela will agree to send it out to you. So Christina, God willing, tomorrow should be back. We'll see. But I'll have her send it to you.
And that's a multi-week deal, right? I
Yes,
mean, that's
yes.
multiple weeks, so it's
And
not a,
it's more events. Well, and there's some events that'll be new that'll be held over at the Rexplex as well. So it's gonna be growing very big.
Okay, so Pam or Heather or both. Dues and sponsorships obviously is a pretty substantial increase in the investment there. What is the philosophy behind spending an extra $208,000 or 290, whatever that math is? Talk to me what are we getting for that extra investment, or what do we think we're going to get?
I'll let Pam take this one.
I'm sorry, I can't hear.
That's okay. The dues and sponsorships, we're going from 358 to 631. That's a pretty big jump. So my question is, what is the philosophy behind why we're going to make that additional investment? What do we expect the return's going to be?
Hang on a second. I've got to get where I can see what you're talking about.
It's on page 4.
I think. It's how much money? Sorry.
It's on the first page, it's got dues and sponsorships, in 2026 was 359,000, and in 2027 it's 632,000. On the first page of the budget.
Actually be helpful if the detail had 2025 and 2026, but the front page has both years, but the detail doesn't, and so it's kind of hard to get that granular.
So I guess that would be a request, is that we have the detail for both.
Okay.
For
And even with
25 and
20,
or for 2026 and 2027, the details for both.
yes.
Yeah, sorry, you guys.
But even without the
Stays-
detail,
yeah.
just philosophy wise, it is a major increase in the investment. What do we expect we're going to get from it? Just curious, and I assume it's very well founded, and there's a strategy and a reason for it. I'm just curious what that is.
Okay. Heather, you don't have anything in that number on dues and sponsorships. That's all sports and sales.
Nothing that is increased.
But you do have stuff in there that makes up that dollar amount, correct?
2 items. At the very top for $5,500.
And I guess a question I would have is, in the website revenue, we're more than doubling it, 2.5 times. What are we gonna do differently next year to justify these kind of numbers?
As you recall, with repeated discussion about the website sales being taken over with the new platform, we were very conservative this year with our numbers because of it being a new platform. So we didn't want to jump into it and say we could meet this number and then not know.
Okay,
So we feel like we're exceeding those numbers this year, and we'll be able to do that much.
okay,
We're being very optimistic.
okay.
Yeah.
And how is the website dilemma working out right now? Because that all is correlated directly with
We have
this.
made some incredible progress, and being at the Destinations International Conference in Portland gave me the opportunity to meet with the very high level of Granicus and speak to them about how serious the situation has been, and we've had the best customer service since then, and they're remedying all of our challenges with them on a very timely basis.
Makes a difference of face to face, doesn't it?
Oh, it shouldn't though. It shouldn't
I
be
know
like
it shouldn't,
that.
but. Okay, and the FAMs, there's a big increase there. Do we? I guess when we get the side by side, when we get the detail from the 2020.
Ashley is working on putting together the detailed budget for that, so you can see exactly where the dollars are going to be spent for the fans.
Okay,
That was a question that we had from a community member that sent me an email and asked some questions, so. They sent several, and that was one of them, so I
Okay.
asked her to put together a detailed, budget on that so that we can present back to the community member that asked, and also would figured we'd get a question from y'all. so
okay,
We can
thank
share
you,
that.
Pam. Thank you.
Can I get just a Cliff Notes, the Great American Media Film Partnership, how's that work?
We've spoken about that, and it'll be a 3-year commitment with 2 movies per year, big films in the Branson Lakes area. Beginning with the movie starting next month.
Okay, so is that a annual commitment that we do for that?
It'll be a 3-year commitment.
3-year commitment,
Mhm.
okay, 3 years.
And it'll guarantee us 2 movies on the Great American Media Network. And then advertising as well across all their platform.
And so it's advertising on their channel. Is it a channel?
Great American Media
Yeah.
Network is,
Okay,
it's
I don't watch
connected
Hallmark
as well
stuff.
as traditional, so it's
Yeah.
digital, it's connected TV, it's traditional TV, it's the whole platform. And including their app and their newsletters, and digital marketing and their billboards. It's all of it.
And so they're committing to film those here
2 movies per year.
too.
And we get to be in charge of locations, even kind of helping direct the storyline. This next one being filmed in September is more of a lakeside love story rather than a Christmas story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're partnering with the city as well. Yeah.
That's our hope. We have presented a couple of times to the city and we're waiting for a chance to have a work session with the aldermen
Mhm.
to discuss budget and commitment for next year.
Pretty good about city's gonna partner.
I think so, and it opens up the door for even more potential possibilities and projects, not just limiting us to Great American, but we have another, potential movie that has a bigger star in it that would like to film here starting in June of next year. And she's been on TV shows like Modern Family, she's been in movies, and she's ready to make a commitment to filming a movie here. And then we also have some options for scripted reality that are looking at coming from Branson as well. And if you're familiar with Ted Lasso, they just released a story about the Ted Lasso effect and how one museum that was in the show received a 5,000% increase in Google search and website visitation. So it makes an impact. TripAdvisor just did a study on how many people are picking travel locations based on what they see on the screen, and 66% of the hundreds of thousands of people they polled are making decisions based on what they're seeing on the screens. So it's one thing along with rallies, motorcycle rallies. that we're
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at.
That, a week, 2 weeks?
September 10th to the 12th.
Yeah.
And we did go to Sturgis to promote Branson.
Yeah. I saw your Sturgis stuff.
Yes.
Looked like it was a fun time.
It was hugely successful,
Yeah.
yes. We did 3 drone shows. We're able to actually custom curate one of the drone shows for the Harley team and the CEO. I had an opportunity to spend time with him from Harley Davidson, and they flew in more executives to Sturgis, finding out about the drone show on that Monday night before the 38 special concert. We were able to be on stage with poor Sammy Hagar, Jamie Johnson, and 38 Special to throw t-shirts and yeah. Yeah,
So what happens if the city doesn't ante up? What if they don't participate?
well, the funds are here and secure in the
Okay.
budget here for TCED side.
No, that's what I mean. What if the city doesn't add their part to it? Isn't the contract much bigger than?
No, this is the contract.
Okay,
This
Okay.
is the contract, so we wanted to make sure it's secured at least. We are asking for an additional $1 million from the city
okay,
to help with additional projects being brought in
okay,
and make this more of a full circle film office
okay.
endeavor.
And so,
But the advertising portion will be in partnership, correct?
okay. And then what does Trove say is the number of people or percentage of people that see something on a movie or something and come to that destination because of what they saw in the movie?
Well, TripAdvisor is saying 66%.
Okay.
Trove doesn't do that type of research. Trove did our visitor sentiment and our social media sentiment. That was a paid study over 6 months.
Okay,
And it didn't include anything about movies. It was about Branson and what is the perception, what is the appeal, what are
Okay.
people saying in market.
This, I know, does the state of Missouri do anything to promote?
They do, and they have a tax credit as well. It's about 16 million annually,
Yeah,
and it's typically used up by the month of May each year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously there's people trying to increase that, and one of the producers who worked on Ozark Mountain Christmas actually helped write that legislation for the state of Missouri, and he's allowing to increase it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But having our own sort of tax incentive, our own built-in incentive to be able to entice projects to come here would put us on the same playing field as St. Louis and Kansas City.
have we ever calculated an ROI on the stories our influencers do or the fan visits? Have we ever calculated what we're getting back for that? Or
So those are two separate things. So
Okay.
if we're talking fan with
when
sales.
they're all put
that's-
together in here?
Right.
Budget.
Fans with sales is different. If we're talking media, then we report on advertising value equivalency, AVE, every month. And when we host a journalist, we know exactly what we're getting in return. Same thing with influencers. We get the reports, we show what their AVE and the equivalence is for what they do.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I guess we will wait to get the information back on the side-by-side information detailed so that we can make a little firmer discussion
And will we have Ashley for September?
recommendations. and
Will Ashley be in town for September's meeting schedule? I meant to ask that again, let's see what he thought.
You can get back, because Ashley's answered some of these questions and sent them to you, when
Okay.
we've had questions from other people, so I know, I'll go back and through and see if I can find some of that stuff in there to go ahead and forward to you while she's traveling. And I know Christina had answered a question that came through yesterday around something she had already sent that to you previously, of the ECI. So I'll just make sure that, we'll resend those so they can go out to your board.
Okay, anybody else have any comments or questions about that?
on the enhancement taxes.
The hands, yes.
Yeah. So there's some add backs from some other areas. And I know one time we talked about what we thought projected sales tax increase for next year would be. So it seems like we should put that I don't know, detail that out or something. And maybe we did.
We did on the estimate. This is their document.
Okay.
This is their budget that they work from. So if you want to see something like that, I can work something up that shows comparatively.
Thinking on our our budget, right?
Our budget will show, but what our budget won't show is enhancement tax under marketing revenues. That's up at the top under sales tax revenues.
Yeah.
And this is the portion of that we allotted to them for next year. So how would you like to see that in a financial statement format?
So enhancement tax to me is the enhancement tax. And this is like 21% increase. So I'm not expecting a 21% increase in.
No, this is the reduction in TIF expense
Yeah,
and chief's contract expense.
okay.
That
Somewhere
really,
that's broken out, yeah.
But to that point though, Angela could send us that verbiage and then we can include that on our piece.
Okay.
Because you're not the first one to point out the 21% number. And we don't want anyone to get the impression
Yeah, I think it's confusing to us.
Yes.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Yeah,
that for some reason, there's a 21% increase in the budget.
Yeah.
And that we are predicting that there's going to be that big of a, an increase. So I think that would be really
Yeah, I
helpful.
think the problem is that this is really just part of the budget. The
Right.
overall number is like, what, 11,
almost
13 million, 13 million, yeah. So
Correct.
we're only seeing part of it here. So I think the part that the extra that you're seeing, some of that is the Chiefs thing, which would have already been in the other half. And the other part is we're projecting an increase in some revenue because of this expiration of the TIF.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So
And
that
that
all
might-
makes sense to me. I think the struggle that I have is we sit here and we're going to spend 21% more money, and I don't think we'll get 21% more in tax revenue next year. I struggle
No.
with that. So, it makes me wonder, is that the right answer?
I guess,
You know.
I guess the way I explained it to one of the MOC members was, this isn't our enhancement tax total.
I almost
It's-
think you need to have expected tax revenue
Mhm.
minus, boom.
I will send
Sitting
that.
out here to the side,
Yeah.
and then everybody can see where that number came from.
Yes.
And maybe even put 2026 next to it. And so you can see the TIF and how much that was, how much the Chiefs was, and then it's pretty obvious where that extra revenue is coming from.
Yeah, we could lead off with that kind of like a brief summary
Yeah.
explanation. Because I think it would be helpful for everyone. The MOC, I think, I
Yeah.
guess you agree.
Yes.
It was the same.
That's marketing. people, they
sentiment.
struggle with numbers.
Yes. They do. Those marketing people just struggle with.
I know
numbers.
who's
Talk
on
about your
that.
wife.
I know who's on that committee.
Respectfully, she did have to miss that meeting, so she didn't go.
But yeah, I'll prepare that and send that out first of the week. And show several years of how that number was determined. I sent that out to MOC after the MOC meeting, so.
But then when we make adjustments on here, we can add that all in there and then
I think
send that
would
as a
be
fresh document.
helpful.
Yeah.
Save you a lot of
I agree.
answering questions.
Anything else? Okay, any announcements and public comments at this time? I have one thing, Tracy Gideon, is working with the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks, and they're trying to collect gift baskets and things like that for an upcoming event they have. And so if you have anything that your institution or anybody would like to put together and take over to Shepherd Hills, that's where Tracy is housed. They'll be using that as a fundraiser for the Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks, so. Anybody else? Okay, if we have no further comments or concerns, I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right.
So Matt, what did you get there?
Run to Spring Hills, I gotta go down there.
Well,
And I think
I
because we tried to talk about juice or something else.
So I've been, I got a bunch of plans. There's actually
Exactly. You're not sitting still in the two together.
Yeah.
Springfield, Glen Arkansas.
Yeah,
lots of-
my assistant got
Okay.
got in trouble for it. So she scheduled me at 1 o'clock in Springfield, and then I've got a 4.5 hour drive down to almost Kansas tonight. So I was pretty excited about it when I found out. Anyway, but it's somebody that's canceled on us 3 times a month.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
decent sized
Yeah.
county, so it's like,
Get it,
I don't want
get
to
it.
change it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and thank you all for your patience during this extended meeting today. You sure did it out of here 20 minutes.